What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the new and improved NerdWide podcast, the official podcast of NerdWide.com. I am your host, the one and only Tyler Haynes, aka Assassin RN, with my favorite co-host, the man himself, the myth, the legend. Hadn't heard from him in a couple years, says Pinecast, Chris the Man Rivers.
I've been asleep the whole time. It's
Just hibernating the whole time.
yeah, just the whole time.
So, Chris, for those of you, those are the ones on stream and who don't know you. What do you dabble in? What's your favorite hobbies? How do we know each other, etc., etc., etc.
We met about 8 years ago?
Guys, has it really been
Um,
that long?
yeah, at CarMax, and this is not sponsored, by the way.
No, not
No,
yet.
not by them anyway.
Right.
Um, no, I'm into gaming and film and television, um, primarily.
So we co-own a website, nerdwide.com, together. We when working together realized we had such an interest and love in all of this pop culture stuff. We've been to multiple cons. We actually were press for Wizard World the last time they came to Nashville, and that was fun. That was an experience. That was what, 2 years? A couple weeks ago? Was it two or three, maybe?
Um, Three, I think. Yeah,
Because
that
we
was.
we met the man, the myth, the legend, Stan Lee,
Mhm.
and that was a fun event. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully, post COVID, we could start going back to cons, maybe do a little bit of press, things like that.
Right.
Um, let's see. Housekeeping. We will be doing a Patreon at some point. I plan to have that live next week. What that means is we will be discussing rewards, tiers, and things like that. But we'll keep you updated on the NerdWide Twitter, which is at nerd_wide. We haven't really decided of what each tier is going to mean. We've talked about doing 15-minute just one-on-one talks with whoever's at certain tiers and things like that. But that's going to help fund the podcast, provide better equipment, better overlays, just a better experience for you guys, the listeners. Just a little catching up, see how everyone was doing. Chris, how was your week? Anything notable happen? Was it fun? Anything like that?
No fun. It was all work.
See, work has been, ever since the COVID stuff, it's been up and down. We get big waves of it, slow waves of it. I work at a hospital, and so it's been up and down. But it hadn't been too terribly bad though. Here the past couple of weeks. All right, Chris, are you ready to get into our first topic?
Absolutely.
I'm
Let's
ready.
do it.
So, what this podcast is going to be, quick overlay. We got three different topics. We're going to start off with TV, then go to movies, and then go to video games. We'll do notable news, reviews if we have any for the week, and new releases for each service. Then at the very end, we'll have time for you guys to chat and/or live call-ins to ask questions. We'll discuss them as we get to them and help answer your guys' questions. So, first topic is, of course, TV. And Chris, I have got to know, what in the world have you been watching?
Not a lot of actual TV for me right now. When it's on, it's usually news, sports. I have been catching up a little bit on the Curse of Oak Island, um, but those episodes are so old that most people
That came on
most
History,
likely
right?
have, yeah,
Yeah.
History Channel. And then usually while I'm gaming, I'll have my laptop popped open and watching YouTube videos. So
Now, are you listening to different podcasts on the YouTube videos, or just like gaming guides, or what do you do on YouTube on your gaming?
um, most of the YouTube stuff I listen to are just general videos. I do follow Alana Pierce, so I'll catch their Play Watch Listen podcast. Um, there's also a guy that has a channel called that franchise guy. He does football talk. He has
Hmm.
a podcast. A lot of the stuff will revolve around Madden or MLB The Show, and then I have a few other things that are film related that I listen to. So
See, I'm trying to. So my week has been, as far as watching TV, the wife and I are huge into Big Brother, and so that's
right,
our summer show right now. Of course, that's 3 nights a week we watch that. We are also, so it's a little bit of rewatching for me, but mainly her first watch through of Smallville. So we are like 3 episodes away from me done with
nice.
season 9. I haven't gotten this far. I stopped watching at the end of season 8 on the finale, and so this is all new to me. And Chris, I'm gonna let you know right now, season 9 is not good. It is. It's like I don't know what happened. I think they had like a different director or a different writer take over, but the shots are so it's just not good.
Right.
And like I feel like they forced a lot of things. So we're both crossing our fingers that season 10 gets better. I don't know if it does. Um, See, they've been watching The Boys. You know, we watch that every week. Chris, are you into that? Have you seen that at all?
I've not started The Boys yet.
Oh, Chris, let me tell you, it is some of the raunchiest, some of the best television. Like it's if super the best pitch I could give for it is if superheroes were alive in our time, what they would be like. Like they've got sponsors, they're bought by a company. It's all about their ratings numbers, and it's
Huh.
not a whole lot about superheroing. And dude, it is so good. Like they've got characters like Homelander is Superman. You've got Queen Maeve, who's Wonder Woman. You got the Deep, who is Aquaman. A Train, who's supposed to be like the Flash character and everything. But dude, it is good. So I'm not giving anything away. It starts up with there's this guy named Huey who is one of the main characters. He is standing on the sidewalk with his girlfriend, and he just got done kissing her, and they're telling you how much they love each other. And then you hear like a whooshing sound and a train sound, which is a train running through. And he completely like just runs through his girlfriend, and like just blood and guts everywhere, and he's still holding her hands.
What?
It's so good. It is so good. Like oh man, I mean it's real raunchy though. Like the first episode there's like rape and stuff like that, but it's I'm telling you man, it's good.
Well,
Um,
I got to check that out. Yeah.
so season 1 is done. I think there's like 9 or 10 episodes, but season 2 they're doing weekly drops. So like they do a new episode every Friday, and so they just dropped episode 4 yesterday, and I've got like 10 minutes left of it. Oh, but that's so good. Uh, I think I think that pretty much has gone through like my TV catching up because we were about to start back up on the fall show start launching back,
Hmm.
and of course sports watching the Steelers, watching the Titans play, which both teams are 1-0, so that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do I know how to pick them? All right, Chris, we've got notable news this week. Of course, this is where we come in and bring all of the news for our TV section. There was only two this week that we felt like was really in our in-house as far as television goes, and the first one is Orphan Black star Tatiana Maslany cast as Jennifer Walters slash She-Hulk for the Disney Plus series. Of course, when Disney Plus came out, they said there were going to be different series of Marvel characters, and like you got the Mandalorian, you've got uh, the new what is it? Captain, not it's the Captain America one. It's why am I blanking? Falcon and Winter Soldier. You've
Yeah.
got She-Hulk. There's a Miss Marvel coming out, which
Hmm.
apparently to a friend of the show, Brandon Davis, he says there should be some big news regarding casting for that dropping soon. But for the She-Hulk and Tatiana Maslany, we go to comicbook.com and read a little bit from Charlie Ridgely, again, friend of the show. So he says She-Hulk is going to follow Jennifer Walters, who is a cousin of Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Jennifer, a lawyer, gets a blood transfusion from Bruce, which ultimately gives her similar powers. Unlike most versions of the Hulk, however, Jennifer remains intelligent and in control when she is able to Hulk out. Of course, once this launched, the casting news, came out and everything. You did see Mark Ruffalo tweeting. You see multiple people tweeting about it.
Right.
And Mark Ruffalo said, "Welcome to the fam, cuz," and he tagged Tatiana. And now, Chris, I've never watched Orphan Black. Have you ever seen any of her past work or anything like that?
I saw a couple episodes of Orphan Black. Um, she's really good. She really is. She had to play her character was essentially cloned,
Hmm.
I guess. So she had to play multiple different personalities, and in that show.
So
She did it very well.
will she be? Well, that would. I guess that makes sense because she's going to have to essentially play two different characters. Well, I guess She-Hulk. I'm not really, much into She-Hulk. I guess it's her same personality. It's not like Bruce and Hulk. Now, do you think we'll see any tie-ins? Do you think we'll see Mark Ruffalo in this show?
I think it'll happen up front,
Right.
uh, similar to what we saw with Agents of Shield when that started.
Just
And we
kind of
had a couple guest stars with Sam Jackson and Jamie Alexander, and
just them kind of launching it and then taking a step back and everything.
right.
I mean, I'm excited. Like, this is, I guess, because we're supposed to have the Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was supposed to come out November of this year. We have not heard anything about it. I mean, I know they just recently started filming, and Sebastian Stan took a picture of Anthony Mackie in the new suit in black and white. Of him sitting there smoking a cigar, which was just completely badass, if I had to say myself, in the new suit. I'm really excited about it. I will be, of course, watching the She-Hulk series because it's everything Marvel, and you can't not watch everything Marvel if you're me at this point.
Right.
But that's it for that story. It's just we got casting. We still don't know when filming starts. We still don't know when they expect the release for it. But I mean, I'm excited. Is there anybody else you would have casted for She-Hulk, or is Tatiana a pretty good fit for you? Or you even thought about it? Because for me, I haven't even thought about it.
I think she's a pretty good fit. Yeah, I don't think this is a bad decision at all. This might be a home run for them.
Oh, I'm excited. Because we literally don't know anything. We don't know who the villain is. We know like next to nothing except they just cast the star of the show. But what we do know, Chris, good segue there, you're right. The new Mandalorian trailer came out this week with a release date of October 30th, of course, on Disney+. I absolutely love Season 1. It was a phenomenal fall show. I felt like, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but that show was absolutely wonderful. Like, really well done. I felt like the pacing was okay. It could have been better in other parts, but it's a TV show at that point, It's not
Right.
one of our Star Wars movies. Did you ever watch the first season?
I did not.
Oh,
No,
Chris.
I missed out on the first season to this point. I'll be honest, where Star Wars is concerned, I know this is blasphemy. The original trilogy is it for me. I'm
Oh,
not really. That's what I grew up on.
yeah.
So I'm
Well,
not
this
really as into the rest of it. But
well, this takes place after the original trilogy, and like
right,
you still have some of your character dialogue in there. There's stormtroopers. There's all sorts of stuff, but I'm really excited. And the trailer got me hyped. We got Sasha Banks from WWE plays a main character in the show,
mm,
which is apparently she's also a Mandalorian. So Mandalorians like high end bounty hunters, and she plays like one that tags things and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. The shots they showed looked really good. Of course, Esposito. Was it from? Is it Carl Esposito from Breaking Bad? I'm trying to think. He's in a bunch of other stuff.
yeah,
I think that's his name. He was in the first season. I'm assuming he's gonna be in the second season, but they didn't show anything on him. They haven't showed a lot of things like Asaka. They didn't show, or Ahsoka, however you pronounce her name, from Clone Wars. She's supposed to be in the show, but they didn't show her in the trailer. I don't know, man. I'm really excited about it. But that's honestly the only two news things we have this week. It's not been a big nerdy pop cultural news week. I mean, just like for movies, it's a light news week as well. But we do have releases this week from September 20th to 26th. That is going to be next week. What you got to look forward to. I put in here The Masked Singer starts the 23rd, which Jamie and I, which is my wife, get heavily into The Masked Singer. Boy. Dude, I can't wait for you. Do you watch any like television like that at all?
no, not usually. I just don't. Yeah, it's not on my radar.
Oh man, I'm telling you, you're gonna really enjoy this one. Like if I need you, so everyone's in mask, it's and then they give you clues. So me and Jamie, what we did last year is we heard the clues, heard them sing, and then each week we guessed who they were. And so of course at the when they get unmasked, if we get it right, we get points for it. And of course she won just because she's I guess better at that. There's a bunch of old people on there. I didn't know who it was, so I gave those to her. I got a lot of them. Lil Wayne was on there last season. Extremely easy to point out because Lil Wayne's got that easy voice to follow.
Right.
But I mean, other than that, that's the only big release. Of course, you got your football games, your NBA games, and things like that. But that's nothing really pop culture coming out. I didn't even see any new seasons of things coming out this week at all either.
No.
But I mean, we're ramping up for the fall, so I know here in a couple of weeks we are going to have a lot of heavy hitters coming out. Which brings us to our movies topics. Eventually, we are going to do reviews for the week. We'll start that off at the beginning of the movies talk. Towards the middle is what we'll do. So, I want to know, Chris, have you watched any new movies this week?
No new movies. I watched one that's a few decades old. From Arrow Video, it's their release of Dario Argento's Bird with the Crystal Plumage.
Is that a horror? Because that sounds horror-y. You know me. I don't do horror.
Yeah. No, it's actually an Italian giallo. It's like a murder mystery, a thriller, basically. So I think you'd be all right with this.
See, we've got Halloween coming up right around the corner. I don't do scary movies. But if we both pick one for a week, we're just gonna have to do it because we're gonna do movie reviews, and it'll be fun. We've got as far as like notable news this week, the biggest one, Wonder Woman 1984 delayed until December. Chris, how many times are they gonna keep delaying this?
Well, it's DC and Warner Brothers, so probably 3 more, and then it will disappoint.
Do you think Wonder Woman's going to disappoint, though?
I'm hoping not, but with the track record that these two companies have, probably.
Oh, did you not like the first one?
I loved the first one.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm curious about a sequel for this DCEUs because we really do not have one. I don't count Batman v Superman as a sequel to the Man of Steel. I just don't because it's really not, Right. So this will be like our first DCEU sequel. Of course, we've got Cheetah as a villain in there. You've got Maxwell Lord as a villain. I don't know. I could always use Gal Gadot in my life and anything. I'm just gonna be honest.
But see, that's the big question. They set a successful tone with the first one.
Right.
Can they carry it over like Marvel did, or are they one and done on that?
I hope not. I really hope not. Because then, they're supposed to be filming Aquaman 2 relatively soon. Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm just a big Jason Momoa fan. Right. And a James Wan fan. Or Wan, excuse me. Other than that, not really any new pop culture news for movies. But we've got releases for 9/20 through 9/26 next week. Of course, is the Enola Holmes movie on Netflix. It drops that Wednesday, and it's got Henry Cavill, Millie Bobby Brown, who is of course not a stranger to Netflix. Neither one of them are, I guess, now with The Witcher and everything. I'm excited.
What you did there, Tyler.
So you liked that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I don't know, what's your energy levels for this? Are you excited to watch this movie, or I mean, I don't know. I'm always down for more Sherlock Holmes content. I'm always down for Henry Cavill. He's a big star. I like to follow his work on. So I'm curious to see how is it his little sister, Sherlock's little sister. Is that what the storyline is here?
I believe so.
Let me see here. Enola Holmes. I'll Google this.
I would have loved if, and I look. I know it's done by different people. And I know we have to give different actors opportunities to play different roles.
Right.
I would have loved if they would have had Robert Downey Jr. involved in this project.
Or even like a like just a small cameo in it or something like that. But then again, though, we didn't see Infinity War and Endgame when Doctor Strange and Tony Stark linked up. There was no Strange reference. I'm very disappointed in that. I mean, a Sherlock reference. I was very disappointed. Let's
Yeah.
see. Enola Holmes is an upcoming mystery film based on the book series of the same name by Nancy Springer. The film, which centers upon the teenage sister, okay, of already famous Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so so it's gonna be a little sister to Sherlock, and of course Henry Cavill plays Sherlock. Whew, I'm excited. We might have to hold off and review that for like the next week or something like that. But speaking of reviews, we want to do once a week. We both want to pick a movie and review it and come back to you guys and talk about that movie. We did a little talk on the back end and off stream and off podcast. And Chris, are you okay for The Devil of All Time or The Devil All the Time?
I am. Yeah, I've heard really good things about it.
Uh,
So,
I've heard it's a little bit of a horror e or like a tension thriller because it's got Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, which is both are just phenomenal actors. You got Sebastian Stan. So I mean, I don't know, man. It's like Chris Ridgely from comicbook.com reviewed it, and I read his review, and he says it gets dark, like real dark. Like at one point there is a dog crucified to a cross,
uh,
and I'm just like, oh. He said that's probably like the worst of it, but he says it is a thriller. It is dark, so
well,
we'll
the
watch it.
question is, Tyler, are you going to be okay?
I'm gonna.
And
It's gonna have to be with the sun up and
oh
low
no, you
volume and
can't.
subtitles. So the music won't be playing to trip me out at all.
You got to set the mood. You got to watch it at night with all the lights out and everything.
Right. Oh man, I don't. It's gonna be it's a movie that Jamie and I are gonna watch together. We both
Well,
watched the trailer and it's gonna be good. I'm
I was going to
really.
say she'll protect you.
I know she'll
Uh,
she'll be there.
yeah.
Oh man, but yes, that's what we'll do. So we'll both watch that and we'll come back next weekend. We'll review it for you guys live and on the air. Um, how do you want to? What's our review scale want to be? Do we want to do the lettering scale like we do for the website? Do we want to do number scale? How you want to do it?
Uh, I'm good with the lettering scale
Okay,
if you want to do that.
let's do that then. Oh, I'm excited, Chris. And then we can see what's coming out the next couple of weeks and see what we review for after that. But that's a next week conversation. But Chris, we're on this week. And of course, now our new topic is video games, Chris. This is going to be probably the hefty bit of the conversation because this is something we both are into. We both kind of follow more so, at least me more so than movies and TV and things like that. But
Mm.
first, I have to know, what are you playing?
So my constant games that I'm always on are Madden and MLB The Show. Um, just because I play Ultimate Team and Diamond Dynasty,
Right,
and you've been in those modes before, I'm sure. You
right.
know that on those you have to pretty much play them daily.
Yeah, that's one of
Uh,
those. If you don't play it daily, you get kind of left behind, and you gotta get your
yeah,
cards and
so
everything.
I'm constantly on those. I just I just downloaded what, like a week or two ago. I think it came out, Avengers.
Oh, you got
Uh,
Adventures?
I did, yeah. I haven't actually gotten to play it yet. What with my schedule, so I'm anxious to hear what you
Oh,
thought of it.
dude. Oh my God. So let me tell you. So it is a games of a service game, which is it's like Destiny or Destiny 2 if you've ever heard of any of those games in the
Yeah,
division. It's like it's the same kind of thing with Madden and MLB. You have to play weekly to get challenges, upgrade your factions. You have to level up yourself, which is the level cap right now is 150. But Chris, I'm going to tell you right now, it is a game of the year contender for me. Even after it launched with all of
really.
the bugs, the crashes, things not syncing up, Chris, I'm telling you, the story for that is absolutely phenomenal. I was not thinking because when looking at all the trailers and everything, I'm like, okay, this is just a knockoff MCU cast, right? But you've got huge names in there. You've got Laura Bailey. You've got Troy Baker. You've got Nolan North. All three of them have like huge voice actors, and so are all the rest of them in there. And
So who does Troy voice?
Hulk, not the Hulk, the Bruce Banner.
Oh, okay.
dude, and it's not like I've played a lot of his stuff. I heard his voice in a lot of things, and I'm for it, man. But who steals the show is Kamala Khan, which is a newer voice actress I haven't heard of. Oh God, hold on, I gotta figure. I want to do her justice. Who played Miss Marvel in Avengers? Because I forget her name. Like I've heard her do interviews and everything like that, and she's wonderful. Video game, but she is the one that steals the show, like period. Where is her name? There she is, Sandra Sod.
Huh.
And like I've been listening to interviews of her, and she did not know she was interviewing for a Marvel game. She did not know any of that, and she did it.
Well, it's
And
good to go in prepared. You
right,
know.
well, I mean, they don't tell you what you're interviewing for. They just kind of like, this is your character, and then once you interview for it, you do these lines. You can kind of put things together. Like if you're Troy Baker and Nolan North, they were told that's what they were interviewing for. But like these smaller ones, you don't want to. I don't know. I think there's an interview process. You don't want to know that because you'll skew the character if that makes
Right.
sense. But oh, I'm telling you, the story
So,
is so good
so you think it's a serious game of the year candidate?
for me. Yeah, but it's a lot of people are going to give backlash for that because there's so many crashes. They just had the newest update come out yesterday. There were over 1,000 bug fixes. Like, you do not release a game if you've got 1,000 bugs in it. Period. But I haven't played since yesterday, so I don't know if the game runs smoother or not. But
Right.
like, there's a part like one of your little hubs is a helicarrier, and there's a TV screen on there with a reporter. He's always like reporting things, and like some scenes his mouth would move, and then he would just stop and be a stagnant character. And like you could still hear
Huh.
his voice, but nothing was happening in the background or anything like that. When you know there's supposed to be something happening, and
Right.
apparently that was fixed. I'll put that to the test a little bit later on. But you'll really enjoy it. The end game, it's a grind, but it's only like a 10 12 hour story mode, and it's man, I'm telling you, it's really really well done. The writing is. And so I'm really excited because they've already announced Hawkeye as a new character, and then Kate Bishop as a new character coming down the line. And they were supposed to already do a Black Panther bit. I think that was supposed to be at the end of this month when they were supposed to do it, but with Chadwick Boseman dying, they held off and said we're not going to do that right now.
Right.
But oh man, let's see. So obviously
So,
I've been playing Avengers. I played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered. Been
uh,
playing Destiny 2. I got the Mario 35th Anniversary All Stars. I came in yesterday for the Switch, and then Hades for the Switch. I play a lot of games, just on rotation. I don't have just one game I play.
right.
It's the life we live. But Chris, here is I guess you could say the topic of the show if we had to give one. That is the PlayStation Showcase. Came and went on Thursday. And of course, we finally got the price and release date for the PlayStation 5. I am heading over to TheVerge.com right now to read from Chaim Gardenberg, and the title is The PS5 will launch on November 12th for $499.99. Of course, he goes on to write, Sony has announced the PlayStation 5 will cost $499.99 when it launches on November 12th, alongside the $399.99 digital edition. Pre-orders will begin on September 17th at select retailers. Now, Chris, put a pin in the pre-order conversation because that's our next one. But
Right.
what do you feel about the prices for these two?
I think it's really reasonable. Yeah. I mean, I coming in $100 more than the Xbox Series S
Yep.
for your digital only edition is interesting, but 499, I don't see a problem with that at all.
So we've
Uh,
got the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 for the same exact price.
right.
It's essentially
And
just what game what system you want now.
well, it's what system you want, but it's also what can you afford at the time of purchase
Right.
because there is a different payment plan with Xbox.
Yep. And I don't think there is a payment plan for PlayStation.
No, there's not.
Oh, see, and that means that's gonna be crazy because for the Xbox you don't have to pay anything at purchase. like at all.
Right.
And I'm just like, that's crazy, and that's going to be a huge selling point for Xbox. But my biggest thing is, so originally going into this year, I've been saving up and everything, expecting both of these to be 500, 600 a piece. But I went going in thinking that I'm going to get both of these. But after last week with the Xbox and this week with the PlayStation, I'm just going to get a PlayStation this year, strictly because why would I get an Xbox when I'm not going to play any games on it? Like I was going to use it for my first party games like your Halos and things like that. But with Halo being delayed until next year, why would I get the Xbox? Now I know it's just me personally. It's not anything to do with Xbox. I love both consoles equally, both services and everything. But I've been PlayStation for PlayStation 4 and for the first party games. I mean, hell, for PlayStation, you've got Spider-Man, Dark Souls or Demon Souls remastered, and there's like some other games, Sackboy, all on launch on November 12th. Xbox, you don't have anything on launch. I mean, the Game Pass is I'm an Ultimate Game Pass holder, but I mean, even at this point, I'm debating on canceling that, just because. I mean, I'll still play like on my Xbox One, but I don't play anything on it, so I'm just spending $15 a month now, and just letting my Xbox collect dust when I play everything on my PlayStation or PC. Are you gonna try and get the PlayStation at launch, or are you gonna wait a little bit? What's your plan?
I might wait a little bit. Um, like I said, the games that I grind on daily are games that won't be launching with the console.
Right.
So I'll probably wait because the I'll probably have to take advantage of a bundle at some point. Um, but really, with with the PS5, another thing that I like is it looks like they're overhauling the collection
Mm-hmm.
because they really showcased a lot of their past, A plus titles or triple A titles
Well, yeah, they're
with
doing the PlayStation Plus collection where you
yeah,
can play God of War, your Uncharted 4, your Bloodborne, like your big hits from PlayStation 4. Dude,
right,
that's a great thing to do. Like I'm a PlayStation Plus member, and that is awesome. Like I mean, you're bringing forth all of your past generation games and putting them on the PlayStation 5 overhauled, of course,
right.
and like no load times, which is like the biggest thing for both consoles at this point. But dude, that's a great deal, and I've never played Uncharted 4. I'm like halfway through Uncharted 2, and I really need to go back through and play them because they're your big PlayStation releases. But one of the biggest stories is came out this week as well is all of these games are going to be on PlayStation 4 as well. I mean, I just don't. To me, I understand like you want ease of accessibility, and I'm pretty sure they did this because of COVID. Like God of War 2 they announced, and
Uh-huh.
that's going to come out, but I think exclusively on PlayStation 5. We don't know yet, but like your Horizon Zero Dawn 2 that's coming out, it's going to be on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5,
Right.
which lets me know it's not really going to use PlayStation 5 to its fullest, capabilities. But like you have the same mindset though that they were probably already halfway through, more than halfway through production on the PlayStation 4 with it when they got the dev kit for PlayStation 5. So I mean, it's like, do you stop and rehaul everything to the PlayStation 5, or do you release on both? It's 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 a sticky situation. I'm curious to see how it goes because originally PlayStation said, we're about pushing people to the next generation. But then they
Right.
come in and they do release on their big games and first party games on PlayStation 4 and 5. But I really do, in my heart of hearts, think that's because of COVID.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's thrown a wrench in a lot of plans.
You know,
Uh,
and speaking of wrench and plans, Chris, the pre-orders were supposed to go live the day after the showcase. But in fact, they went live within hours of the showcase, causing absolute mayhem and confusion. I am reading from thewashingtonpost.com, an article by Gene Park. Sony seemingly had a game plan for pre-orders, but it quickly turned into online mayhem and confusion. After Sony unveiled the November 12th launch date and prices for the PlayStation 5 devices, people were armed with less information than ever on how to obtain it. Sony said after the event that retailers would begin accepting pre-orders on Thursday, September 17th, and PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan told the Washington Post that the decision on when pre-order websites would go live was up to the retailers. Why? I mean, like, I still do not have a PlayStation 5 pre-ordered. I can't. Like, you go to Best Buy, you go to Target, you go to Walmart, you go to GameStop, all their websites completely sold out. There's no rhyme or reason when they say, hey, we've got more. And I feel like I am on the losing end of this scenario, and I still don't have a PlayStation. Like, one of the kits, one of our fans of the show, she said she got one. I mean, she was able to get one the next day. I mean, she lives over in the UK and everything. And I'm just like, I'm so jealous because I cannot get one no matter what I do. Listen, on my phone, I've got tabs up for GameStop, Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. I don't want to buy one for Walmart or Target just because, or even Amazon. But at this point, I need to pre-order this thing, and I need to. Of course, we've got, little less than 2 months now, but so odds are I will get a pre-order. But it's been an absolute mess. I don't know if you've seen the Twitter talking about it and everything, but it's been a mess, Chris.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complaining about it. I mean, you never leave stuff up to the retailers.
Never.
Because they're all going to try and get out there ahead of each other. Mm-hmm. And then you end up with a situation like this.
And of course, it was Walmart first. I mean, that sounds about right.
Right.
But I think we're into a similar situation with Xbox. Xbox took a couple of digs at PlayStation when they came out and said it. But they said that their pre-orders go live this coming up Tuesday. So whenever y'all listen to it, it'll be the September the 22nd at 10 a.m. our time, Chris. Right. And this is where you can go to get it, and this is when it goes live, and these are the websites that we'll have them at. But I feel like that's perfect, and that's if retailers go against the grain, I do not see them getting, Xboxes in the future for launches, But they said this is how you do it, which I respect that, but I feel like it's going to be the same problem, is that everything's going to get sold out. All of these things are going to just go off the shelves, and websites are going to crash, and people aren't going to be able to get it. Albeit, Xbox aren't as popular for the new PlayStations, but we'll see what happens. I'm very curious to see what happens come Tuesday, and if it's the same issue. But, it's just been a big week. We got a bunch of new games coming out. Like Final Fantasy 16 got announced. The new Harry Potter game got announced, which is I am over the moon for, and I cannot wait for. And then the biggest one is, of course, God of War 2 announcement, which is God of War Ragnarok. Did you play the first one?
I did, yeah.
Oh my God, Chris, this is like, I am just when Chris Judge goes, boy, you know what I mean? And it just chills. Literal chills. But with other releases, the releases coming up this next week on 9/25 is Mafia, the Definitive Edition. That's the biggest one that I've got. I can't think of anything else that is going to happen. But
yeah, and we're still waiting on Cyberpunk. That's November? So
yeah, I think it's the week after the launches. So like, Xbox launches November 10th, PlayStation November 12th. I think it comes out on the 17th.
Yeah, something like that. So that's another one that really got victimized by COVID.
Mm-hmm. They were supposed to already be out by this point.
Yeah.
Are you picking up Cyberpunk?
I am gonna pick up Cyberpunk.
Oh, Chris, we're about to have some fun. Oh, But guys, that is our show. It looks like we didn't get any questions in this week, but that is a-okay. Oh, it looks like from the chat, Kitsune Jim says UK does not get the PlayStation 5 until the 19th. Is it? Are they not the 12th with everybody else? Because I think
No,
there's.
no, they're delayed.
Oh, I wonder why. Is it? Do you think it's a stonk issue?
Nah, I think they just staggered it that way.
Yeah,
I don't think there's.
just trying to get them all out. Man, I'm excited. I just can't pre-order it. I mean, what's the point? you know.
Right.
Oh god. Well, Chris, this was episode 1 of the new and rebranded NerdWide podcast. How you think it went? How you feeling?
I think we'll have the training wheels off next week. This was, like you said, it's been a couple of years, so
Yeah. Get the
gotta get back.
cobwebs off.
Yeah.
Oh man. But of course, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in live on dlive.tv, we will be posting this on youtube.com, and of course it'll be youtube.com/nerdwide where you can find this. You can find it we'll post on any podcasting services. I think the only one we don't have is Spotify, but I think you have to have like a certain amount of hoops to jump through for that. But everywhere else you listen to your podcast, this will be available on. Of course, guys, we really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe on the YouTube, like it and rate it and review it on all your podcasting services that you listen to. Even if you don't listen to it on a certain podcast service, go give it a 5 stars. Like it, share it around to all your friends because we want to keep this going. Of course, we will have a Patreon going live sometime this week, hopefully before the new episode next week because we record on Saturdays. And we'll keep you all updated on that on our social media. Speaking of social media, you can find us collectively at NerdWide at nerd_wide on Twitter. You can follow me personally at Ty_Haynes. And of course, Chris at MavTN7 for Twitter. As always, this has been the NerdWide podcast. You can always check out the website, which we should be updating soon. Hopefully, life is a little busy and hectic, but hopefully we could get some people in there reviewing things, interviewing people, things like that. But as always, this has been the NerdWide podcast, and we cannot wait till next week to fill your ear holes with our beautiful voices.
Bye, everyone.